foe, I'm balling just like a piston. We get the... Damn, heard it's another man down in my city, Brody Chopper got a red dot and some titties, I ain't with the drama. I'm just trying to touch a milli, I'm a addy dropper. Cause on my mama we get busy. It's another man down in my city, Brody Chopper got a red dot and some titties, I ain't with the drama. I'm just trying to touch a milli, I'm a addy dropper. Cause on my mama we get busy. Plug pull up with the pack and I ain't even busted down. Couple minutes on my phone, I promise I'm gonna get it gone. I stay solid, I get caught, I'm fighting till they sit me down. You get caught, you singing like a nigga in the studio. Brody sold the whip for 1,000 cause we just slid in it. I really make a house call, fuck if your kids in it. Been through some shit, that's why my heart too froze. You ain't living what you rapping in a studio. You get your noodle blown, fucking with the opposition. My brother making decisions on anybody that's dissing. With the quickness, I'ma make a decision, I'm on a mission. You tripping, thinking we missing, I'm shooting up with precision. Red beam on the barrel to give myself some assistance. My brother come through like sniper, he knock you off from a distance. Big foe with no foe, I'm balling just like a piston. We get the... Damn, heard it's another man down in my city, Brody Chopper got a red dot and some titties, I ain't with the drama. I'm just trying to touch a milli, I'm a addy dropper. Cause on my mama we get busy. It's another man down in my city, Brody Chopper got a red dot and some titties, I ain't with the drama. I'm just trying to touch a milli, I'm a addy dropper. Cause on my mama we get busy. Plug pull up with the pack and I ain't even busted down. Couple minutes on my phone, I promise I'm gonna get it gone. I stay solid, I get caught, I'm fighting till they sit me down. You get caught, you singing like a nigga in the studio. Brody sold the whip for 1,000 cause we just slid in it. I really make a house call, fuck if your kids in it. Been through some shit, that's why my heart too froze. You ain't living what you rapping in a studio. You get your noodle blown, fucking with the opposition. My brother making decisions on anybody that's dissing. With the quickness, I'ma make a decision, I'm on a mission. You tripping, thinking we missing, I'm shooting up with precision. Red beam on the barrel to give myself some assistance. My brother come through like sniper, he knock you off from a distance. Big foe with no foe, I'm balling just like a piston. We get the... Damn, heard it's another man down in my city, Brody Chopper got a red dot and some titties, I ain't with the drama. I'm just trying to touch a milli, I'm a addy dropper. Cause on my mama we get busy. It's another man down in my city, Brody Chopper got a red dot and some titties, I ain't with the drama. I'm just trying to touch a milli, I'm a addy dropper. Cause on my mama we get busy.
What's up, everybody? This is the El Nino Podcast. I'm Eladio Nino, and this is Real Everyday People. Big shout out to my sponsor, Nathan Blanset for Next Gen Electric. He is a professional. He has a master's license. He has a contractor's license. He is also fully insured, and he also offers a lifetime labor warranty. And he is also A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. So for any of your electrical needs, please reach out to Nathan Blanset at 313-854-0333. Next Gen Electric, powering the future. Definitely reach out to Nathan Blanset. He is the owner of Next Gen Electric. For any of your electrical needs, he's serving the downriver community. So today I'm representing for the homies today. You know what I'm saying? Free my brother Dario Cruz, Mike Banks, and, you know, so many other, you know, brothers. Free my brother, you know, Tony Martinez, Wilson Rivera, and my brother Huevos, welcome home Kiko, and you know, so many other brothers that have come home that are doing good, educated themselves, are, you know, working and building a life for themselves. Just a couple weeks ago we had my man Manolo Ramos on here. Big shout out to that brother. Did 25 years, held it down, came home, and he's building, he's living his life. Today I have another good friend of mine that I met on the inside. Definitely honored to have him here. He's got a great story to tell, and I'm excited to have him here and have him share his story with you. This is my man Big John, also known as the Fry Guy. What's up with you, brother? Man, thank you, man, for coming through. You know, welcome to the El Nino Podcast. You know, you came from, what is it, Clio? Clio, okay. He said it's over there by Saginaw Flint, so, you know, they thugging over there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, welcome, man. Welcome. Appreciate you coming through. And, you know, it's definitely been real. You know, just, you know, the bond that we've been able to build and, you know, being able to stay connected. You know what I'm saying? But we'll talk about all that later, how we met and all that good stuff. But, you know, tell the people, man, a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you from, what it is, and when it ain't.
My name's John Heine. I'm from Clio, Michigan. I've been running the Fry Guy food truck, or I own the Fry Guy food truck. I've been doing it. This is my 6th season. Actually, this Friday we are doing Tigers home opener, and I came down here to talk with El Nito today about that and giving him a bunch of tickets to the pregame party. So get some tickets from him and come down and see us.
So these tickets here, these are not for the actual game, but there's a actually home opener event. It's a festival that's going on, and these are tickets. These are passes. Appreciate you for bringing them through. You know what I'm saying? Definitely going to, spread the love. You know what I'm saying? Break bread with the family and the friends, and, thank you. I appreciate you. So what are you going to be doing there? You're going to have your truck there?
So there's 3 food trucks down there. It's a big party. They have cannabis down there. They have drinks. Anything you think of. There's 3 food trucks down there. We're open from 9 to 9. It's on 440 Madison. Come down, party, have a good time.
So let me ask you something. What separates your food truck from all the other food trucks? It's called the Fry Guy. I like it. How'd you come up with the name?
We do hand-cut French fries. You don't find that around anywhere. From the area I'm from, I'm the only one that does hand-cut fries. Everybody else does frozen fries. And I've become a French fry snob, I guess. I go out to a restaurant. I won't eat frozen fries. I just don't care for them.
Okay, all right. So how much do you eat your own fries?
I don't eat them as much as I used to. When you're in the food truck 5 days a week, cooking 6, 8, 10 hours a day, you get tired of the same old thing every day. Now that I've been off since December, I go back to work this week and I'll eat some fries. But I get tired of them.
Yeah. Hey, it's great to start the season off at, Comerica Park at, our opening day. That's really dope. Definitely looking forward to, trying out some of them good fries. So, how did you come up with the menu?
Watching TV while I was locked up, you see all kinds of cooking shows. There used to be one, the Great Food Truck Race, and there was never a French fry truck. So I thought that would be something. Everybody loves French fries. When I first started, I was worried about kids liking hand-cut fries. I grew up on them. Homemade fries, my mom made them all the time. So nowadays, kids have dinosaur fries, smiley face fries, but it's crazy how kids love hand-cut fries. I met a kid at the Saginaw County Fair a couple years ago. His last name was Fry. He was like 7. And his mom came up, "My son's been wanting to meet you." And in the last couple of years, I've been in contact with him quite a bit. He said when he's 16, he's going to take over the Fry Guy truck.
Oh, that's really cool, man. So, what are some of the different coordinations of fries that you make?
So we do regular fries. We do a garlic parm fry. We do something called cracked chicken, which is shredded chicken, bacon, cream cheese, American cheese, cheddar cheese, ranch powder mixed with barbecue sauce.
I wish I had some of it right now. That shit sounded delicious. That shit sound wonderful.
And then we do a homemade chili cheese fry, and we also do a pulled pork with coleslaw on top.
What's your most popular one?
Cracked chicken, 5 years running.
Damn.
I always tell everybody when they come up, once you try crack, you'll never go back.
That's dope, man. That's so cool, man. Yup. So, a couple years ago you came and you vendored at the DHDC for my event that I had over there on Trumbull, man. I was really excited because at that time, there wasn't nobody in the city that had the Fry Guy, pulling up like that. So I appreciate you pulling up for sure. Where did the idea come from to make a food truck, a French fry truck?
So,
because I haven't ever seen a French fry truck like designated just for fries,
So, like I said, I used to watch shows when I was locked up, and nobody had a French fry truck. And I've always liked cooking. My one thing I would like to do, if possible, my mom passed away at 61, and I learned to cook from her and my grandmother. If I could have one day where they could come and spend one day in the food truck with me and see the joy that brings me doing what I do, it would mean the world to me.
So how hard or easy was it for you to get established? Like, I'm talking about like licensing and, modifications and all that type of stuff. Like, what was that journey like? Because, a lot of people have great ideas and, there's always a lot of red tape, the unseen things that you don't see, the challenges, the obstacles to, get everything going, to get legalized, to get licensed, to get, all that type of stuff.
It's not as hard as you think it is. You go down and you come up with a plan. You go down to the health department. You put your plan in with them, and they go through it, and you tell them what you want to do. And the hardest part is, my friends own a taco truck up home, and I told them when they started a couple years after me. I told them, you're going to get people to come to your food truck once or twice. The key is to get them to keep coming back. You got to have good food. If you have bad food, I don't care how pretty or how cool your food truck looks, people aren't coming back.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I don't go nowhere where I eat some shitty ass food, for real. So, how much do you need? Do you to get started with something like that?
So the first food truck I had built, it cost me $40,000. I had somebody build it in Virginia. The second one I did, I bought the truck, I bought all the equipment to have it done, and I had somebody build it, and I had about 30 into that. So not quite as much. You can find food trucks on Facebook Marketplace for $20,000. It's not a big investment really. And if you go out and hustle, you can do. The first year I did about 80. Last year I did over 200. So it's
Wow.
If you have good food, people are going to come and eat your food.
That's good living right there.
Yeah, I can't
man.
complain.
Shit. That's 6 months on and 6 months off.
I probably work 150 or 150 days a year, and in the food truck window time, probably 30 hours a week. I do a lot of shopping, a lot of prepping, whatever, but I'm out working in the food truck probably 30 hours a week.
Okay. So do you have help? Do you have other employees, or who helps you run this business?
For the first 5 years, all my friends would come and help me, and I'd hire people to work with me. But my wife, she was an RN, and she decided she wanted to start food truck with me. So she retired last year at 45, and now she's going to venture food trucking. So I'm excited. It's going to be a good time.
Oh, that's really dope, man. So you, your wife, you guys run this business. Does it get challenging? Does it get difficult? Just, dealing with people, are they demanding? Is everybody happy? Do you get complainers? I mean, when you're dealing with people, you have to be a people pleaser. And, like they say, the customer's always right. So, how often do you deal with challenges just dealing with people in general?
I really don't. So I don't know how old a lot of you people are, but if you watch Seinfeld, you remember the Soup Nazi? I talk shit to my food truck patrons like that, and they have fun. We banter back and forth, and we have a good time. I enjoy doing what I do. In 5 seasons, I've never had one bad review online, so that means a lot.
That's really dope. So do you travel, or are you just located or stationed in one location, or how does that go? Or do you just travel?
We do different festivals around Michigan. The wife and I are talking about building a food trailer so we can travel in the wintertime when we're off. We're thinking about doing Strawberry Festival and Bike Week in Florida next year.
Oh, wow. That's dope, man. Hell yeah. Good for you, man. So how do you contact people to build that type of network, Do you just look up events in different states, or even here in Michigan,
So when I first started, I would be on the phone at midnight, 1, 2, 3 in the morning looking for jobs. It was a grind. Like I said before, my food is good and people really like it. I get calls from all over the state. In fact, last week I got a text from a lady that wanted me to come to Pennsylvania, but I'm not going that far.
That's great though, Yeah. So do both your trucks function right now, or do you just operate one?
So I operate the one. My sister owns the other one.
Okay. All right. So what about insurance and just licensing? What is it, like a vendor's license,
So
stuff like that?
You have to have a license through the state of Michigan, through the health department. That costs you $300 a year. And then you got to have 2 inspections, just like you're a restaurant, basically. You have to have 2 working inspections every year, and they're pretty simple. They really just want your money. And
So are those licenses good anywhere in the state of Michigan, or is it every state or is every city that you go through? Do you have to get an inspection, or how does that work?
so your regular inspections, you have to have 2 a year. Going down to Detroit Thursday, the fire marshal is going to come down, inspect my truck, give me permission to work down there, and then you have to get in the city of Detroit, you have to get a 1-day vendor's permit. Other than that, my state license that I have now is good for pretty much the whole state and for the whole year. You go to some of these cities and they want $50 fire inspection or whatever it is, but you have to pay that. That's just part of doing business.
Okay, yeah. But for you, good thing that you have a very a very good business. Do you usually sell out?
Yeah, we
So that $50 is like it's
Yeah.
nothing,
it's just part of doing business. It's with anything. It's like putting gas in your car, basically.
Yeah. What's the most that you've made at an event?
$6,600 in one day is the most I've ever done.
Oh shit! I wish I could make $6,600. Shit! God dang! In one day, you got to feel pretty good about yourself.
I do, and the funny thing is, I tell everybody, I used to do stuff illegally, and now basically I'm selling drugs with the crack chicken.
Crack chicken. That's
But
right.
doing it legally, and I can't go to jail for it.
So me and John, we were together at Adrian Correctional Facility in Michigan, and that's where we met. We became good friends, and we became cooking partners. John makes an awesome. I wish I had one right now, a surf and turf. You know what I mean? And I mean, damn, my mouth's watering right now. That damn thing was so good. And we would usually do it like every other week, every store day or something like that. We get all the ingredients, the mackerels, the cheeses, the pickles, the meats, and all the magic that goes into it. You know what I'm saying? It was literally the best surf and turf I've ever had, and I've tried to duplicate it. I've tried to make it, and it just never came out the same, bro. You know what I'm saying?
So if you mean cooking partners, you mean you bring your bowl and the food you're putting in,
There
and I
it
cook
is.
it?
That's right.
That's not a cooking partner.
Ain't no doubt, man. Well, we broke bread together, man. You
Yeah,
know
we
what I'm
did.
saying? Definitely, man. Shout out to my man Gary, too, man. Gary was always getting in on him, too. Oh, and then we threw the little Philadelphia cream cheese packs on top of that with the little jalapenos. Damn, I could go for a bowl right now, I swear. Because people look at the shit like, man, that shit sounds crazy. That shit looks crazy. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I've already made a couple nacho doos since I've been home. That's, like, one of my favorite things to do. And, they see me spreading the honey on there. And, you know what I'm saying? All these different seasonings. And people are confused. Like, why are you putting that shit on there? Pickles and shit, onions. I'm like, listen, wait till you try it. And, man, it's just so wonderful. Once they taste it, it's, like, sweet, but it's salty and it's delicious and it's good. You know what I mean? You learn how to get creative in prison, man, with your ingredients, your food, your seasonings, all that type of shit. When I came home, I told both guys, I'll show you 38 ways to make a noodle. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know you could make a burrito or a egg roll out of a ramen noodle. I learned that when I was locked up.
Yeah, for sure, man. That shit was crazy, man. Yup. So, how much time did you do?
I did 11 years.
You did 11 years. Okay. When did you get out?
October 2018.
Oh, okay. All right. And how long did it take for you, like, to get established? Like, what were one of your biggest challenges or obstacles when you came home?
Getting my driver's license back.
Okay. Why? Prior to going to prison, did you
I
have
got in a car
issues?
accident and I lost my license.
Oh, okay. So that was part of the reason that you had went to prison.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so, how long did it take for you to get your license back?
I got it back a year and a half ago, so
Holy shit!
5
damn.
years.
Damn. Okay. All right. Well, that's good. Congratulations. At least you got them now, and that's one thing that you don't have to worry about.
Right.
Yep. And what about because just you mentioned that you got married, right? How long you been married for?
Got married June of last year.
Okay. All right. And you talked about how you never thought you would get married. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just wasn't in the cards for you. That wasn't, what you thought was in your best interest. And then all of a sudden you find the one.
I was married when I was younger. It didn't go as planned, so I figured I'd never get married again. I finally, after being out for 3 years, I met the right one, and we get along well. We never argue, which, knock on wood, but we get along well. We do what we want to do when we want to do it, and she's a good woman.
That's dope, man. You got that chemistry, and not only is she your life partner, but she's your work partner. You know what I'm saying? That's your co-worker.
We'll see how that goes. We haven't done that yet, but she's worked a couple jobs with me, but we'll see. It'll be good. We, like I said, we do opening day this week, and we have a bunch of stuff booked for this year.
That's really dope, man. So, what about, like, finding a job or anything like that? Like, did you have any challenges with that, or did you go just straight to the food truck, like, fuck that, I'm not working for nobody?
No, for the first year I was home. I worked a factory job, and then I just got tired of working 7 days a week, making money just to get by. And when you work a 40-hour job a week, basically, you got to work the rest of your life to get by most of the time. And I lost a lot of years being gone away, and I didn't want to be that guy that had to punch a clock 7 days a week just to be able to get by.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So tell me, in the 11 years that you were in prison, like what are some of the, life lessons that you learned being in there? Like some of the things that, you teach people, something that you're going to carry for you for the rest of your life, like.
We did a lot of different self-help groups, I guess you'd call them. When I was at Adrian, I did Scared Straight 4 times there, and we'd get young kids, 14, 15-year-old juveniles coming in and talking to them, and it was cool. You learn a lot. It's weird that you can learn a lot from a 14-year-old and paying attention to what's going on.
When I was at Adrian, we had started a youth program with my man Shy and Matt Mikowski and all of us, under the Chance for Life CFL program. Big shout out to Tom Adams and Jessica Taylor, for coming into the prisons and bringing these life skills, and just giving us, skills to survive and, learn new ways of thinking, and that's where I learned how to, be a critical thinker, an effective communicator, the win-win, what I'm saying, the anger management, all that type of shit. And, it really had a huge impact in my life and in the life of others. And, yesterday I had the privilege of going to the new JDF, the Juvenile Detention Facility in downtown Detroit. Big shout out to Brother Troy and, everybody, all the brothers that were there. Salute you, brothers, you know what I'm saying? We went in there about 20-25 deep. Everybody took different wings, different floors, and we were building with the young brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? And it really felt good because when I was young, I was a hellraiser. You know what I'm saying? And I went to juvenile at 15 years old, and I just got caught up in the pipeline. I went from at 9 years old being in a mental institution for kids to 15 years old in a juvenile, and eventually at 21, 22 years old, I went to the Michigan Department of Corrections for 17 years. So that's it's just a journey, but that's why I love being able to build with the youth, man, to help hopefully deter them from going down that pipeline, because I feel like when the kids are in juvenile, I just feel like it's just preparing them for prison. You know what I'm saying? So it's like breathing on these brothers, sharing my experience and convincing them to, see that, life, family, friendship, freedom, love, loyalty, that, you can't take that stuff for granted. You know what I'm saying? And you have to redefine love and loyalty and family and friendship, because, we're so, here in Detroit, and the way I was raised, we were raised, according to a street ethics. You know what I'm saying? So my understanding of love, loyalty, family, and friendship, was based on that. You know what I'm saying? But when you actually, redefine, the true meaning of what all those things represent and what it means, you know what I'm saying? Unconditional love, circumstantial love, self-love, self-respect, self-worth, all those types of things, you know what I'm saying? It's very helpful. It's very healthy for people, you know what I mean? To be able to, to embrace that and become enlightened, to themselves, because, there's people who have been living the same way that they have for the majority of their life. And, it's just unfortunate that they lack growth, I think that's the problem with the youth today. A lot of them think just because they have a criminal past or whatever, you can become whatever you want to be. I'm proof of that. I got out, I was 50 years old. I'm 56. I got my own business. I do well. And if you have a dream, chase it. You can, no matter if you take 5 steps back, just keep moving forward, and you can get what you want in life. I mean, the same effort that you put into selling drugs, the same energy you put into gang banging, and, all the same motivation that you invest in the streets, if you could only apply that same determination and motivation and energy into a different path, you will see a huge difference. Because a lot of times we have gifts and we have skills, but if you are applying those gifts and them skills to the wrong thing, you know, in life, wherever you're at, and that's not where you're supposed to be, you're never going to get it. It's never going to make sense until you find your way and get on the path that you're supposed to be on. And honestly, a lot of the skills that I obtained through selling drugs and being in the streets, like, these are really life skills, you know what I'm saying? And you can apply them to a real life, running a business, even just working a job, you know what I'm saying? Being a critical thinker, being an effective communicator, you know, being motivated. And honestly, having a job will take you further than anything else, because it's only so far that money can take you. You know what I'm saying? There's things that credit can get you that money can't get you. You know what I'm saying? And especially if you get money in the streets, you know, there's a lot of things that, you know, a lot of red tape you're going to have to go around. You know, being able to have a bank account, you know, to be able to establish credit, you know, to, you know, one day be able to buy a home and get a nice car, a new car legitimately. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of guys, even a lot of young people, they look and see what people got and they want it right now and right away, where they're ready to, you know, knock your head off for this shit. You know what I'm saying? But it just feels so good when you just accomplish these things the right way. You know, a lot of times we were taught the wrong way to do things. You know, we lived a savage lifestyle, and even still to this day, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but you know, slowly but surely, each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? We got all these strong brothers that been through the trenches. We finally got our shit together. We sitting here, we breathing on these brothers, yeah, and sisters, and trying to get them on track and take the smoke out their face. You know what I'm saying? So they can see what's really going on. You know. That was the whole concept of this podcast, was to be able to share your story, to educate and enlighten people. You know.
Yeah, it's life is way different now than it used to be. I don't worry about somebody banging on my door at 3 a.m. and having the state police at my house. I don't do anything like I used to do. I'm a legitimate businessman. I enjoy what I do and look forward to the next 20 years of my life.
So earlier we were talking about Clio, right, where you're from, and you talked about how it used to be a nice quiet town, nice little place between Saginaw and Flint. You know what I'm saying? So you guys were really in a sandwich, you know, and it was almost inevitable that at some point Saginaw and Flint was going, you know what I'm saying, cross that path right there and cross Clio and make their way in there, you know. And like we were talking about, like, you know, most times that I knew when people were going to different cities and networking and things like that, it was for financial growth, you know what I'm saying? And today, for the most part, you go to towns like that, people take drugs with them, you know what I'm saying? Because who the fuck is not using drugs in some form or another, whether it's a pill, whether it's heroin, whether it's coke, or whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? And now you said that your town is not the same as it used to be. It's not that quiet town and, you know, peaceful town. Now you said shit's popping.
Yeah, it's definitely not the same. You can leave your doors unlocked, leave your car. You can leave your keys in your car. Back when I was a kid, my parents always, you go out to the car, the keys were in it. Nowadays, you leave your keys in your car, you get up the next morning, it's probably not going to be there. Last year, I think we had 4 murders in about 2 weeks. And I live in a town of maybe 2,500 people.
Wow. Yeah, especially for a town that's not used to that type of violence. But, I mean, you guys have to be aware of it because you're surrounded by Saginaw, you're surrounded by Flint. These are urban cities, urban communities, you know what I'm saying? So I guess it was just a matter of time until they crossed that threshold, you know what I'm saying? They got a hold of, you know. So how does that make you feel? How does that make your community feel, or the residents of Clio? Like, you know, does it make them all want to run and go move, or do they try to reestablish themselves, or how does it go?
Everybody loves the little town of Clio. Most of the people that I know that I went to school with never left Michigan. They still live in Clio. Probably 90% of the people that still live in my neighborhood when I grew up are still part of the same family that I grew up. You know, the same. Either their kids live in their mom and dad's house or their grandkids live in their house. Sorry about that.
So is it like country? Is it city? Is it both? Is it diverse? Is it predominantly white? Like,
it's diverse. It's predominantly white, but it's more country. We have a downtown area that's a mile by a mile probably, but it's pretty country out there.
That's cool. And how much time did you ever spend in Flint or Saginaw? Do you have friends in like Saginaw, Flint, things like that?
Oh yeah, growing up we'd go to Flint and Saginaw. Not all the time, but we'd go hang out with our friends and whatever. And
okay, so tell me a little bit about childhood, man. What was childhood? You got siblings.
Yeah,
What were your parents like?
I got two older sisters. My mom and dad are both passed. He was a shop worker. My mom worked at a Christmas place up in Frankenmuth. I played sports, did pretty much. I was the only boy in the family, so I was the youngest, pretty spoiled, I guess.
Oh, you was the baby. You was the baby boy.
But I played football, baseball, wrestled. I did all sports.
Damn, that's really dope, man. So you had two older sisters. So I mean, did they do their fair part in nurturing you, taking care of you, making sure that you was good?
My oldest sister moved out. I think I was 10 years old, and my other sister, we got along pretty good. She was only 18 months older than me.
Oh, okay, all right. So what about your parents? I know you said your mother had passed away.
Yeah.
You know,
My mother passed away at 61. I was 37 years old or something like that. Was
were you in prison at the time?
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
I had gotten my accident, and she passed away about a year later.
Oh, okay, all right.
So, and my dad and my grandma, they'd come. My mom's mom would come and see me quite often when I was in Adrian. I'd get a visit every couple weeks.
Oh, okay, yeah. How long were you at Adrian for?
8 years.
Damn, are you serious? You did? Damn, that's crazy. I don't think I ever did over 2 years at any yard. You know what I'm saying? They constantly was switching me off, transferring me up north, downstate, mid-state. I've been all over the place. You know.
Damn gang banging.
That's right, man. You know what I'm saying? Shit, hard to kill, baby. Hard to kill. You know? Yep. So, like the culture of gangs in prison, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, from when I first went down, it was very different because the gang activity was not as, as exposed as it is now. Everything was mainly based on religious groups, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of the gang members that went to prison ended up joining, some type of religious faith, whether it was, being a Muslim or, whether you were a Moorish American or Nation of Islam or a Melanic. I mean, they even had the Odinists, you know what I'm saying? It was like every race in there had, their religious preferences, and, but it wasn't until maybe the last 7-8 years of my bid where gangs kind of took over again, you know what I'm saying? Like they came, they hit. Them young boys was just like, no, we don't care about no religion, we don't care about God, we don't care about nothing. All we care about is our flag, our hood, and what we stand on, you know what I'm saying? And that really made it a hectic environment, And a lot of people, I know that, from where I come from, going to prison was like a badge of honor, and but you just fail to realize, man, the reality of the politics in prison is very different as the politics out here, and there it's just I seen a lot more internal beef than anything, you know what I'm saying? A lot of in-house beef. I seen more brothers popping their own people, you know what I'm saying, than popping the ops. It was crazy, and when I first came down, it was a lot of it was based on race as well, you know what I mean? And when I first came down, there were not a whole lot of Latinos in prison like that. It was predominantly black, and, fuck, man, if you were soft or you were weak, you was definitely going to have a hard time in that bitch.
For sure.
But, Adrian was pretty laid back. They always had a lot of activities for us to do. We had the freedom to be able to, play sports, and just do a lot of things. My favorite thing to do, I love sports. I was always active. I played soccer, I played softball, I played basketball, but I loved hitting that heavy bag. That was my favorite thing to do. I would do it every single day, sometimes twice a day, you know what I'm saying? And, I loved it. It kept me fit. It kept me strong. It kept me sharp. And, it was crazy because a lot of people would crowd me, watch me box the bag, and, and for a lot of people, it gets intimidating because you think you know how to fight until it's time to fight, you know what I'm saying? Or until you fight somebody who really knows how to fight and box your motherfucking head. You run them, get punched 13 times in your motherfucking nose before you even got the last word out. You hear me? Shit crazy as hell, but it's funny because it's like that, you know what I'm saying? And you know, because a lot of people, man, they're used to having guns. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, come on, man, we got to do away from that shit. You know, and I just, you know, I loved what it did for me, and I always, you know, recommend that people do, you know, practice some type of, you know, martial arts or, you know, boxing, you know, even staying in sports. It's more than just the sport itself. You know what I'm saying? It teaches you discipline. It teaches you focus. It teaches you how to be a leader. It teaches you how to be a team player. All that different type of stuff. Yep. Yeah. So I know you was a workout buff in there.
Yeah, 7 days a week. Usually I was in the weight pit. I worked out there, and I liked hitting the weights.
Oh yeah, that was always, you know, one of the favorites. Got to keep yourself healthy, strong, conditioned. You know what I'm saying? It just you had to have fast legs. You had to have a plug. You had to get there because, you know, motherfuckers run to the weight pit. Everybody trying to take all the weight, all the benches, all the bars, all that type of shit.
Yeah, I had a guy. His name's Drew. He did that for me. Fastest white kid I've ever seen in my life.
Yep. So, what are some of the lessons that you learned from your parents that you even apply to this day? You know what I'm saying?
Work ethic, work hard, respect others, family. Family means a lot to me.
Do you have a big family, or?
I got my 2 sisters. I got 5 nephews, 2 great nephews. Not a huge family, but we got a good family.
And are you guys in touch? Do you guys stay in touch?
My nephew called me. In fact, on the way here, he called me, and I get to watch my 2 great nephews this Wednesday. So yeah, I get them all the time.
Okay, that's cool. And do they support your business as well?
Oh yeah. A couple years ago, my great nephew, he's 7 now. He was expecting a little brother, so we go over and do a gender reveal party, and he jumped up in the food truck and got on my lap and drove the food truck to the backyard. He thought that was the coolest thing in the world.
Oh, for real? Dang, that's so cool,
Yeah.
man. That's something he'll never forget.
Nope.
Yep. Hey, one day, man, you might be able to get your other nephews to, run the other truck, and just keep it going, man. Shit, sound like it's pretty good money. What about like carnivals and things like that? Do you work carnivals?
We don't do a lot of carnivals because they have their own stuff. I do something called Mud Jam, which is a big week-long event up in Hale. It's monster trucks and just a big party. I do a couple things in Frankenmuth, Funtown Chowdown. I do a lot of different week-long events. And then I do a lot of private stuff too. I do open houses, weddings, birthday parties, you name it.
Oh, okay. So how did you get connected with vendoring here at opening day?
A friend of mine, they own a burger truck. They were there last year, and they told me they were looking for another truck this year. So I reached out to the sponsors, and they said, yeah, we've never had a fry truck down here. So they reached out to me, and here we are.
So that's dope. So your friend has a burger truck. You got the fry truck. Like, it only makes sense to guys to set up next to each other.
Right.
You can go get a burger, and you can come over here and get some exclusive fries.
Right.
Hell yeah, that's really dope, man. Yep. So what did your father and your mother do for a living? What type of work did they do?
My dad worked for Buick, and my mom worked at, she was a retailer at a big Christmas shop in Frankenmuth.
Okay. All right. What were one of your first jobs?
I worked at a greenhouse washing dirty pots for them to replant plants in. 14 years old.
Oh, shit. Damn, for real? So
Yep.
you was already learning how to cultivate and everything. Shit, you should have learned how to grow some weed. You ever tried growing weed?
Oh yeah, I've tried growing weed. Back when Northern Lights was the best marijuana around.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Hell yeah, I remember
That's
being
some
young.
25 years ago probably.
Hell yeah, get some of that good monkey paw. Shit, my family was in the business, man, for 100 years, bro. We kept them Mexican bowls. Them little bricks came just like a whole pound, be the same size as this motherfucking phone. You hear me? I don't know how you break that bitch up into 16 ounces, but we made it happen. We had all the tricks of the trade. We would steam that bitch, break that bitch down, put him in the microwave, however you fucking want to do it. Throw a little water on it. That bitch like a chia pet. You water it and watch it grow.
I remember them days. I used to go to Oklahoma and pick up pounds of brickweed for $2.50.
Hell yeah, and that bitch have 100 seeds in that motherfucker, and everybody was still buying that bitch. You hear me? That's crazy, man. That was the good old days, man. You know, nowadays, man, everybody's so motherfucking picky with their damn weed. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. I don't like perp, and I like this, and I like that, and I like my shit tight, and I like my shit big. And I said, that's what she said. No, but you know, and then just the whole weed industry, you know, just in general, man, how creative it's become. You know what I'm saying? With, you know, THCA. Shout out to Waken Bakery over there in Corktown. You know, they have infused drinks, infused pastries. They're over there on West Elizabeth, right behind McShane's, off of Trumbull, Michigan, and Corktown. Go check them out if you ever get a chance. They have good pastries, good drinks, and they also have stuff that's not infused as well. But you know, like the snow caps. Have you tried the snow caps? It's like covered in all white THCA. Shout out to Infinity Extractions. Shout out to my boy Troy Sanchez, that, you know, he's out there doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's just you know, and then it's crazy. You know, all the dispensaries like in River Rouge, you know, Detroit, like especially in Detroit, like everywhere you go, everywhere you turn, there's dispensaries everywhere, and you know, for hustlers, people who are on the block trying to get that bread, you know what I'm saying, and try to stay compatible with everybody else. You know, you're going to dispensaries finding shit for, you know, $75 an ounce, $80 an ounce. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to match them prices too, and the quality, you know, and you know, it just, and then people, you know, you got people selling bad weed out there. These motherfuckers got mites and mildew, and, you know, all kinds of bullshit. You got motherfuckers spraying fentanyl on the weed and shit, like they fucking the whole game up, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for what? What the fuck you want to put fentanyl on weed for? I mean, really in anything. You know what I'm saying? How high the fuck do you want to be? I don't give a fuck if you're taking a goddamn pill or you taking a line of coke. What the fuck? It used to do the trick on its own. Now you want to add fentanyl. That motherfucking Fetty Wap taking people out the motherfucking game, unfortunately, man. It's so sad. I've lost so many people and seen so many good people and young people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just dropping off this shit, and I just don't even understand. It's like they contributing to the population control and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I seen a thing yesterday. They busted someone with marijuana, and it was all infused with fentanyl. Why? You know, I just don't get it.
Yeah, man, it's just crazy, man. It's just pure greed, bro. You know what I'm saying? You sitting here, you could kill somebody, or, you know, do some long-term damage to somebody with that bullshit. You know what I mean? All for what? To try to make a couple extra bucks? If you got good weed, they're gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, I remember when I first had to, man, I had to educate myself, because, you know, before I went to prison, man, I had nothing but Mexican bows, Arizona bows, and they sold like crazy. So I came home with that same motivation and shit. Man, this shit was not the same. You hear me? You better not try to sell nobody no weed with no seeds or nothing. Nobody want no mids. They don't want no average shit. Everybody want that killer. They want that fire. They want that shit to lay them down. And now you got sativas, you got hybrids, you got indicas, you know what I'm saying? Some of my favorites was like Grease Monkey, Purple Punch, all that type of shit. You know, and it's just, you know, and then you go in dispensaries, they got all these options. I mean, really, it's just a whole fucking illusion. Everything's colorful, everything's pretty, you know, you just like anything in life, you eat with your eyes, you know?
Yeah, you go into a dispensary now, it's like going into a candy store, basically. There's 1,000 different things you can buy at a dispensary nowadays.
I know my boy Troy, he be trying to explain shit to me. It's like talking Chinese, he talking about resin and live rosin and live this, and I say, listen, just give me the livest shit you got. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, even the wax and the fucking snowflakes and everything, I'm like, man, they are not playing, bro. And everybody, they getting all their money now. You know what I'm saying? Even with the fucking trim and all that shit, like they're making sure that all that shit gets transitioned and make some bread. But it's just the market today in Michigan, and it's just oversaturated. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just everywhere you look, somebody's growing, somebody got them. You know what I mean? And it's like, damn, you know, something that was worth so much money before is like it ain't even worth shit no more. You know what I mean?
You can go to the dispensary and get a $50 or 50 cent pre-roll. You couldn't buy a joint for 50 cents back when I was 12 years old, 15 years old. $2 joint was as cheap as you can buy. Now you can buy one for 50 cents.
Hell shit, hell yeah. All you gotta do is walk in there, they'll throw you one, they'll give you one, you know? It's all good though, man. You know, that's just how it is, man. Business fluctuates, you know. It's crazy though to see so many like like just shut down the fucking Walgreens over here on Eureka and Telegraph. You know, I mean, we didn't even get a warning. Usually they'll put, closing or 70% off. None of that shit. I woke up one day, the sign was down and the bitch was shut down. Big Lots shut down. Macy's is shutting down. They done sold Southland. I mean, it's just like stores all across, like everywhere, bro, is just being shut down. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you're looking at society today. Like, is this good? Is it bad? Like, what the fuck's going on? You go through many different cities and you see, like, I ain't gonna say dilapidated, but you have so many vacant buildings now, you know what I'm saying, where thriving businesses used to be, whether it was small business or big business, corporate, whatever. But it's like anywhere that you go anymore, and it's like, what the fuck is happening to society? And everybody say, well, you can order everything online. Like, is that really the case? You know what I'm saying? Because I know for me, especially when I buy shoes, clothes, really anything, groceries, anything, I want to go there, I want to see it myself, I want to touch it, I want to look at it, I want to smell it, I want to try it on, all that type of shit.
Right.
I remember when I first came home and learned about Amazon. My wife taught me about Amazon. I went crazy for about the first year. I was getting checks, and every day I had something in my cart I was ready to get. You know what I mean? Fuck me up.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Because it's convenient. What? All I got to do is boop, 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 and it'll be here in 2 days. Hell yeah,
Yeah, we had 5 Rite Aids within a 20-mile radius of us shut down in the last couple months. But in the same 4-mile radius, we got 15 dispensaries in the green triangle of Clio.
I know, that's crazy, man. Holy shit. I swear to God, I said these motherfuckers owe me reparations. Many motherfucking times they locked me up, took my shit, beat me up, put me in jail, and then I come home, nigga, they got motherfucking dispensaries on every fucking corner. I say, you bitches owe me reparation, all the shit y'all put me through for this shit. Now y'all over here blowing weed, blunts, joints, all kinds of shit. All willy-nilly with it, legally. Ain't this a bitch?
Yeah, I remember when I first came home, weed had just became legal in Michigan when I first got out. I walked into Kroger one day and I thought there was a skunk in the store. It was that bad. It was, anywhere you go nowadays, no matter where it's at, church, whatever, people are smoking weed.
Yeah, it was just a whole new world, you know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, everybody was smoking weed freely, and everybody had guns. I said, what the fuck? I went and got a haircut. Shout out to my man BY over there at Legendary. Rest in peace, my nigga Jimmy the barber. I went there to go see my guy Jimmy get a haircut. Everybody in the bitch got guns on them, even the customers, the barbers, everybody. I said, what the fuck going on? You know what I'm saying? It was like the Wild Wild West. And then I felt like I'm at a disadvantage because I'm a felon. I can't have no motherfucking pistols or nothing on me, you know what I'm saying? But it was just like, me growing up, bro, it was all, you was either a drug dealer, a gang member, or the police. Those was the only people that had guns, you know what I'm saying? Now everybody got a motherfucking gun, you know what I'm saying? You got people who ain't never supposed to have no motherfucking gun, and they got 12 of them, you know what I'm saying? Shit crazy. Then you wonder why these motherfuckers have a bad day, kill everybody. 32 people because a nigga had a bad day. That shit wild as fuck.
That's the world we live in today. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's scary, man. I tell you, man, I never felt so safe and comfortable at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always been a busybody, go-getter, all that type of shit, But it's like now, man, I love being home. I feel safe at home. I feel protected at home. I feel like everything I need is at home. You know what I'm saying?
Even up in Flint, they're like back in the day when I'd go to the clubs and go out partying and stuff. They don't even have that anymore. I don't know any bars that are open past midnight and where we're from.
Damn, for real?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, you got to come to the city. Yeah. Them boys all the way live. Yeah, I don't know, man. It just, it's always a good time. I'm always up for a good time, but, I enjoy being home. You know what I mean? You build your comfort zone. You build this is your castle. This is everything you love, everything you want. You know what I'm saying? Is right here.
Well, you're safe at home. If you're, if you're around your family, your friends, whatever, you're safe there. You never know what's going to happen. You can walk out the door, get hit by a car, shot, whatever.
Yeah, and then I got my grandson, man. I love him so much, because my kids, they were 1, 3, and 5 when I went to prison, so I never had a chance to raise them or love them properly, or just do what I was supposed to do as a father, because I was fucking running the streets. And you know, so it's just a whole different kind of love, you know, and having him in my life, like everything I missed out on with my own kids, you know, I'm able to experience with him, you know what I'm saying? And he's 4 years old now, and he's just, you know, the best thing. And, you know, shout out to my daughter Selena, she's pregnant right now, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'm excited, you know, I'm happy about that because, you know, our family is growing, and, you know, I get the opportunity to be, you know what I'm saying, hands-on with another baby, you know.
Well, you know, when like your 4-year-old grandson, I met him tonight when we got here. That's unconditional love. It's nothing's going to change between you and him over the years. It's just you're his papa, and he loves you, no matter what.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. And I love him living with me because I get to see him from morning till night, all day and night. You know what I'm saying? And he's such a good kid, man. I love him so much. You know what I mean? And because I seen some people with some kids, and they wild than a motherfucker. I'm talking about they be in the grocery store. Rah, rah. I'd be like, hell no, if you shut that motherfucking kid up. I said, I could never take that kid nowhere.
I was at Walmart the other day, and this little kid, she was probably 4 or 5 years old. Her mom wouldn't get her something. She threw herself on the floor.
Oh.
If that would have happened when I was a kid, my mom would have whipped my pants down and busted my ass.
Man, me and my wife was talking about that shit. We used to get our shit rocked.
For sure.
Better tighten up. Fuck wrong with you? I was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? But we all came out good, you know what I'm saying? We got them little ass whoopings, you know, get your little mouth slapped up real quick, you know, you be all right. Can't do that shit now.
No.
You go straight to motherfucking jail, or one of them kids will pull out a pistol and shoot the shit out you.
You spank them now, they're calling the cops on you.
Hell yeah, that's crazy, man. You know, it was crazy because, you know, I grew up just, you know, ass whoopings, you know what I'm saying? And then I had my godparents, they lived in Bloomfield Hills, and, you know, I used to see how they used to, you know, discipline, you know, my god brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying? And it was just completely different. Gabriel, come here, let me talk to you, let me explain to you. Okay, so now go stand in the corner, and I'm like, what the fuck? My mom would have been spun my head off this shit. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not gonna do it. Pap. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, it was just different parenting, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I was just wondering, like, why does it work for them? And this, you know what I'm saying? We had to learn this way, and you know, they learned that way. You know, I guess, I don't know. It was just very different.
I remember one day I was probably 13, 14 years old, and I did something. I can't remember what it was, but I remember my mom picked up my aluminum baseball bat and chased me across the yard. She was going to beat my ass with that thing.
Damn, for real?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know after a while, man, my mom quit using a belt on me. Oh, man, if you move, you was through. You know what I'm saying? You get your head whiplash, your neck, your back, your face, all that type of shit. Then, shit, I remember my grandfather, man. My mom let him whip my ass one day with a chicote. So a chicote is a bull whip. You know what I'm saying? It's a leather bull whip, and it's got like 6 leather strings on that bitch. I stole the fucking newspaper from the neighbor's house. Goofy than a motherfucker. I knew my grandpa liked the newspaper, so I done went and stole the bitch from the neighbor and brought it to my grandpa. You know what I'm saying?
Thought you were doing something good.
The neighbor called, hey, did you get the paper today? And they're like, yeah, we got the paper. They're like, yeah, well, we didn't get ours. And it just so happened my uncle was in the other room reading the newspaper, and my grandpa had a paper, and he was like, he called me, where'd you get this paper from? I found it. Where the fuck you find it? Tore my ass up, you hear me? I said, some of them a bit, but that was an honorable ass whooping. I ain't gonna lie, man, you know. And they told me, man, a thief is the worst thing you want to be in life, man. Nobody gonna ever want you to come over. They ain't gonna trust you. They ain't gonna like you. They ain't gonna want you, you know.
My mom's favorite thing was the Hot Wheel track. I know a lot of kids don't know what that is nowadays, but it's a rubber track that you used to play with your Hot Wheels. It was like a belt almost, but that thing did some damage.
Hell yeah, shit. That was white people punishment right there. What the fuck? Got hit with a Hot Wheels track. God damn. Them white people problems. Hell no. So what's the future look like for you, bro?
Well, like I said, hopefully this year we're talking about building a food trailer so we can travel around the country a little bit and just keep food trucking. It's what I love to do.
You ever go to Ohio?
I haven't. I've never worked the food truck out of Michigan before. You gotta, when you go to different states, you gotta jump through all their hoops, get your.
Oh, for real?
Even though every truck is the same, they're all licensed the same, but you got to get a 1 week, 2 week, 3 week permit, however long you're going to be in there. They got to come and check your truck out. It's all the same thing everywhere. It's just a lot of hoops you got to jump through.
You know, I was thinking, powwow season's coming up and shit, but I'm sure they have their rules, regulations, policies, and procedures about, who can vendor and stuff like that. I'm sure you have to be tied into the Native American community, you know what I'm saying? But I just think that it's a treat for any event, anywhere, to have the fry guy, pull up and just, serve you some delicious fries with, just different styles. You should come up with a Mexican style fry, like dress it up with some carne asada, like some steak or, cilantro, tomatoes, you know what I'm saying?
The wife wants to do a taco nacho or a nacho fry.
Yes.
Instead of using nacho chips, she wants to do something like that.
Oh, that's dope. That would be a great idea. Yeah, hell yeah, for sure, man.
We have the food factory we do in the wintertime. We try to make different things. I did a couple weeks ago, I had some friends over. We did a beef and cheddar fry, kind of like a take on an Arby's beef and cheddar, and it was really, really good.
Hell yeah, that's dope, man. Yep, for sure. What'd you say you had on the way here? Arby's?
I stopped at Arby's on the way here, actually.
Where's the beef? I love that. Them damn cheddar melts. So good.
Beef and cheddar.
Hell yeah. Yup, so that's good, man. Just continuing business. You seem pretty happy and content with your life, being married, you know what I'm saying? You done built a life for yourself. You done got your own business. You work for yourself. That's wonderful, man. That's really good, bro. Very, very admirable.
Well, I don't know if I work for myself anymore. My wife's going to be the boss, I'm sure.
They always are.
As
much as I be like, I'm the motherfucking man of this house, I end up washing dishes and doing all kinds of shit. I don't mind it though. You know what I'm saying? When I was in prison, bro, you had to learn how to, clean your own bowl, fold your own clothes, do all that shit. So I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? She was fucked up. I first came home, I'm washing dishes, and she's looking like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm used to it. It ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? I always used to do all the cooking and all the cleaning, And I used to ask guys to help clean, but when I would see how they would clean, I'm like, oh, y'all motherfuckers don't know how to clean. Just put that shit down. I got it, man.
My wife don't like the way I clean either. She does. I do dishes and stuff like that. I do a lot of the cooking at home, but she's always the one doing the cleaning and whatever, which I'm okay with that. She cleans better than I do.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, man, my grandma and my grandpa, they used to take me, they used to clean offices, Secretary of State offices, shit like that, and I would go with them on the weekends, make a couple dollars and shit. But they were so thorough, though, especially my grandma. She was on my ass. They had properties, and she'd be sending me in there to sweep and mop and shit like that. And when I'll be like, I'm done, she'd come and do an inspection. I'm like, fuck. She come in, she'd be like, look at the whole board. No, you didn't even clean it. You got to get down on your knees. You got to clean it right. You got to get in the cracks. You got to sweep it. You got to mop. And I just grew up like that, being very thorough. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that you're doing it right, doing a good job.
Well, when you're doing something for a customer, customers are always right. So you got to make sure it's up to par, because if not, next week they'll find somebody else to do it.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Well, listen, brother, I definitely grateful to have you here. Appreciate you traveling to come be on the podcast and share your story. Thank you for all the tickets. You know what I'm saying? I got a big family, so definitely gonna share these, spread these with the fam. To at least get into the festivities. You said everybody had to be there by 1:00 though.
Yeah, because I think because after the game gets over, there's so many people there. They just, you get in for free. They want paying customers to come in. They want to get people there during the game, so they're making money while the game's going on. I imagine.
Do you know exactly where you're going to be located there?
440 Madison.
It's 440 Madison.
It's 2 blocks from the stadium, from Comerica Park, and there's 15 DJs, a band. They're having all kinds of games down there, and of course food trucks, and it'll be a really, really good time. It's supposed to be 55 degrees, so it's going to be nice. No rain in the forecast, so come out and enjoy your day at Tigers opening day, and enjoy the festivities.
Man, make sure you stop by. Come see my guy John at the Fry Guy truck, man. I guarantee you're going to love it. You'll be back. So don't miss out. Go Tigres. Shout out to my Pistons, even though we lost. You know what I'm saying? The bad boys are back, baby. They're over there hammering them boys. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. They ejected everybody. Players, coaches, everybody got ejected yesterday. But, big shout out to Detroit, man. You already know we always rough. We always rugged. We always get it how we live. You know what I'm saying? So, can't wait to see them bounce back real quick. You know what I'm saying? And, everything Detroit, man. Love y'all. Salute y'all. And everybody, man, take care, be safe. Big shout out to my brother Zoe. Please holler at my brother Zoe for LA Landscaping. Season's coming up. He's a professional. He does a great job. Shout out to my man Nathan Blandsett for all your electrical needs. Holler at Next Gen Electric, powering the future. And much love to everybody, man. Keep your head up out there. Just don't take life, family,